Ngayong Sabado, tiyak gaganda ang inyong umaga dahil may bago na tayong makakasama sa isang matalino at makabuluhang talakayan. Handog ng TriMEDIA. Makakasama at makakahuntahan na natin sa radio, TV at social media ang Miss Body Language ng Philippine movie industry. Si Miss Vivian Velez. Body Language! Live dito sa DZRJ 810 AM. Ang Double V sa DZRJ. Vivian Velez, the beauty and brain. Vivian Velez. Vivian Velez. Dito sa Double V.
Hey, good morning. It's Saturday morning again. And medyo makulimlim na, no?
Hindi, mainit actually, maaaraw.
Mainit pero makulimlim siya, hindi ba? Well, you are at DZRJ 8:10 AM. Ang himpilan ng bawat Pilipino, TriMEDIA.
Yes.
Okay, Peter. Of course,
Yes.
ang aking co-anchor.
Yes, magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. Welcome to TriMEDIA sa show namin na Double V here on DZRJ 810 AM on your AM dial. Ayan, nagkakalituhan tayo.
Hindi ka naman puyat kagabi, no?
Hindi naman. Actually, natulog ako.
Yung ating guest today, actually medyo puyat sila.
Sila yung mga puyat.
Magkakasama kami last night actually.
Nag-party kayo.
It's a Thanksgiving party para kay Sec General Roy Simatu, yung bagong nailagay sa DNR. So, we had a Thanksgiving. Kasama natin ng mga Republic Defenders, no? So, so yan. Pero, so I was asking...
Ano yung Republic Defenders, Bibs?
Sige, explain natin yung kay Carlo. And actually, it is a group of, parang, it's a coalition of different groups, no? P. Duterte Corps, which is a federalism group. And then also, meron tayong mga ALDA, meron din tayong mga basta different groups. Anyway, we will talk about that soon. Mag-invite tayo one of those members or officers ng Republic Defenders. Anyway, papakilala ko na siya. He is a writer, contributor siya ng resurgent.ph. It's an online, parang it's a newspaper. Uso ngayon yan, di ba? So, Carlo De Leon.
Yes, good morning.
Carlo.
Good morning, Carlo.
Carlo, is it your first time sa radio?
Not really.
Not really?
Yeah.
Oo.
I've been a guest
Many times.
not many times.
siguro ngayon lang siya nag-guest ng ganito kaaga. That's for sure. Okay. Sige, mag-usap pa. Ano yun natin? Pasalamatan muna natin siguro yung ating mga friends, ano? Bago lahat kasi last week na medyo nakalimutan natin. I want to thank Clarence Limi and Dermatology Center. That's in second floor Mila Holdings Building, 28 Jupiter, Makati. And makikita nyo meron, ano ito? Okay. Ito yung Pickaway nila. This is, they're the only one that has this. So, it's really good for yung mga scars, pigmentations, and tattoo, actually. Oo. It's really one of the best treatments talaga. Favorite ko to eh. That's why, talaga nilagay ko rito, sabi ko kay Dr. John, John, pahiram ng ano mo. Standy and ano. Kasi it's really one of the best treatment talaga na try ko.
Okay. Yan. Ako naman, I would like to thank my sponsor, ang Sherwin Skin and Body Center. Diyan naman siya sa Hillcrest Condominium sa E. Rodriguez Senior Avenue. Maganda din ang mga services niya. Kaya tayo flawless eh. Di ba? Ayan kita nyo.
I want to say hi also to Sandy. She's in the studio.
Hi, Sandy. And I would like to say hi to my friend, si Ayesha Estrella. Hi, Ayesha, na nanonood siya sa atin ngayon.
Yes, and also Richard Merck. Hi, Richard.
At saka yung mga nakikinig sa atin sa iba't ibang parte ng Pilipinas. Hello po sa inyong lahat. Pag-aaralan po namin ni Vivian ang mga dialects natin.
Yes.
Oo, kagaya ng sa Bisaya, maayong adlaw sa inyong tanan.
Jose Ilocano,
Yan.
bangal daw, kadang kayo amin. Okay. And ingat-ingat po diyan sa mga nagda-drive, ha? Oo. So, ngayon, marami tayong pag-uusapan, Peter. That's why I asked Carlo to join us today, no? To talk about actually what happened last week lang. Diba, Carlo? We were, Ronald Cardema was here last week. And andun siya dun sa Calamard forum when dun sa UP. Si Ronald, no, 'di ba? Hindi nga sila pinapasok
Hindi sila
doon.
pinapasok.
Okay, so anyway, let's talk about it more.
Okay.
Kung now, siguro para maintindihan muna ng mga
nakikinig sa atin.
nakikinig sa atin. Parang I want to describe first the characters that are involved. Di ba? Yung mga characters na ito, no? Kasi si Agnes Calamard is the special rapporteur on extrajudicial summary or arbitrary executions at the Office of the United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights. So this is the OHCHR. Okay, so siya yung special rapporteur. Alright, so ngayon...
Ang rapporteur po, yan po yung nagre-report sa UN.
Yes.
Ng mga kaganapan kung saan sila ina-assign.
I think she's not the only one. Ano? Di ba, Carlo? Ilan sila? There's about, I think...
There's several of them.
Several of them. I think about 50 plus.
Kasi iba-ibang mga cases din na hinahandle niya mga rapporteur, di ba?
Yes, okay. And then, she was last year, I think it was started last year when they were saying that they want to investigate yata yung war on drugs ni President Duterte, di ba? So that came about last year. Tapos, hindi yata, there was an invitation, of course. You have to be invited by the host country, diba, to come in and investigate. But there was some conditions. Okay, we'll talk about that conditions later. That was given the Philippine government. Okay, we'll talk about that later. Okay. So anyway, dumating po siya last week. I think that was the forum. I think was a Saturday. I think it Friday.
Friday.
So that was what, May 8 supposed to be, or May 7?
Teka, let's check. 5 ata.
Anyway, so she came to the Philippines. Dumating siya rito, and she was supposed to be the keynote speaker for a 2-day drug policy forum at the University of the Philippines.
Yes.
Okay, so speaker siya ron, keynote speaker siya. Okay, so now, sino ang nag-organize ng forum?
Yun,
Okay.
sino?
Ang nag-organize ng forum is yung FLAG lawyers. FLAG means Free Legal Assistance Group. Okay, ito yung mga lawyers na to, no? Sila Jose Manuel Diokno, Arno Sanidad, and Alexander Padilla. At itong mga lawyers na to, mga lawyers din ni Laila de Lima.
Okay.
Okay, so sila rin ang lawyers ni Laila de Lima. Alright. Now, who else? Sino pa yung involved? Itong si Chito Gascon. So I'm sure everybody knows who Chito Gascon is, di ba? Siya ang ating Human Rights Commission chairman.
Yes.
Okay.
Earning 4 million a year.
Oh, really?
Yes.
4 million a year?
He has a salary grade of 31 compared to the president of 33.
Oh my God!
Higher than the president.
Oh, wow. Oh, teka.
I read it in Manila Times with Bobby Tiglau's article.
Really?
Yeah.
Pero ito.
Bakit ganun kalaki ang sweldo ng commissioner?
Teka, mamaya ka-questionin natin yan, kung bakit
sige.
yun, well, Chito Gascon, who appointed Chito Gascon?
Yan sana yung tatanong ko eh.
Aquino was the one who appointed Chito Gascon.
Okay.
Si Pinoy.
Pinoy,
was the one who appointed him. And he used to be the LP Director General. LP, Liberal Party. Which is the opposition party. No?
Yeah.
So, yun ang Chito Gascon na tumatalaga ngayon as chairman ng Human Rights.
Okay.
So, on that premise, na in-invite netong mga organizers na ito ng FLAG at nila Chito Gascon, si Calamard. 'Diba? Pero in a very how is siya
Sneaky?
sneaky ayun.
Oo, kasi di ba ang sinabi niya, she was
Carlo,
here
diba?
on a personal reason, sabi niya. Personal, ibig sabihin, walang kinalaman sa gobyerno. Ang pagpunta niya rito, she was here on her own volition. She was never sent by the UN.
But that was
sabi.
not a vacation on her part. And she didn't go to a beach or anything like that. She went to
a conference.
a forum.
Diba?
Yeah. And then she spoke in front of media.
Yeah.
Diba?
Buti sana kung pumunta sa Boracay, sa beach.
Oo, tapos hinabol siya ng media. Kasi
So what's your thought, Carlo? I mean, with all this, kasi nagkagulo 'di ba? I think, no? I mean, all over the social media na talagang
Maraming nagalit.
Maraming nagalit, oo. Kasi it was
medyo malicious nga kasi
malicious.
yung
Yes,
intent.
that was the word that I was
Yeah, malicious yung intent eh.
Oo.
Because of the malicious intent and the sneaky way of doing it, it really caught the attention of lots of the netizens.
Yes.
Galit na galit sila kasi she comes here and she's UN Special Rapporteur on extrajudicial cases.
Yes.
And then suddenly makes pronouncements like the war on drugs in the Philippines is bad or not good. So, teka muna. Di ba?
May good war ba?
Teka muna. Human rights expert.
Yeah.
Yes.
Where does she derive her authority to say that she's an expert on war?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, a war on drugs. Okay, you're a human rights
Specialist, supposedly.
specialist.
Oo.
So, suddenly, she becomes an expert on war. So, that alone, sira na.
Oo.
Because it doesn't address her reason for being.
Yes.
Na she's supposed to report on atrocities or to verify human rights. First of all, she hasn't conducted a special investigation, independent investigation yet. Her sources of information was desktop research or reports from other people. An independent investigation means doing investigating on your own.
Yeah.
Without any external extraneous variables
Yes.
that will influence your outcome. So that alone medyo hindi maganda yung impact sa Filipinos.
And then also meron ako nakitang article because she was even saying that yung dun sa part ng speech niya kasi sabi niya dun sa speech niya, in April 2016 the General Assembly of the world's government recognized explicitly that the war on drugs does not work. Okay, hindi, yun ang sinabi niya, nasa speech na yun diba? Recorded yun. Okay, so
War on drugs does not work.
okay, so,
Yes, that's the term
that is
of
does
phrasing.
not
Does
work.
not work.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But when you Google it, dun sa April 2016 na sinasabi niyang General Assembly, di ba? Mag-google mo naman lahat yun hindi ba? Because it's all recorded.
Yeah.
Walang sinabi about war on drugs, yung word na war on drugs, and it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Walang ganon. So, she was lying. Di ba? Talaga nagsisinungaling siya.
Or at the very least, that's her personal
opinion.
Interpretation.
Yeah, but she quoted that nung April 26 daw, yung General Assembly, with that General Assembly, they recognized that the war on drugs does not work. So that alone, talagang kumbaga, meron tainted na, di ba?
Is she high?
Hindi, kasi
Saring.
parang feeling ko lang, parang nagago niya yung mga Pilipino na para bang, ano tayo, we'll just take her word for it,
yeah.
everything that she says.
Yeah.
I mean, para bang wala ba tayong internet para mag-research?
Pwede naman natin chicken, di ba?
No, but probably she's undermining the intelligence and understanding of the people that people will just take her word for it kasi she's a person of authority.
Okay.
Yes.
Kasi maganda pakinggan yung posisyon niya sa UN It's United Nations.
Ganda ng pakinggan, UN Rapporteur.
Special Rapporteur.
Rapporteur is only a French word for reporter.
Reporter.
Okay. Okay, maganda pakinggan kasi it's a French word.
Oo.
And it sounds very social.
Rapatu.
Diba? Anyway, so, alright. So, sige, mag-google naman po ninyo yan, yung sa sinabi niya, and then, don't take my word also for, huwag niyo rin
Make your own
pakinggan,
research.
make your own research, but, yung, nag-research tayo, no? In fact, yung UN General Assembly, it's like 11,000 word resolution yan.
Oo.
So, wala talaga ron na sinabi na yung term was war on drugs, much less that it doesn't work.
Doesn't work.
Okay.
And the world leader, yun ang sinabi. World leaders agree, sabi niya.
Okay.
Diba?
So, let's talk about the conditions muna. Kasi, syempre, sasabihin, kasi naman, bakit naman hindi siya in-invite? Diba? They're supposed to be bakit nagkaroon ng conditions? Kasi nung una, I couldn't understand what was the conditions kasi hindi pa nila nilalabas kung ano yung conditions na yun. Baka naman may mga conditions na talaga na out of this world na ayaw niya, na ayaw ng special rapporteur, no, ni Calamard, or it would be against the UN policies, di ba? So, yung mga conditions ito, yung one condition is Calamard must have a public debate with President Rodrigo Duterte before the media. Okay, what's wrong with that?
To me, nothing's wrong.
Oh, diba?
But maybe she's scared.
Ako, for me, something is wrong. What's wrong with it is why should the president talk to her?
Talk to her. Meaning,
Yeah.
No, she
even
should.
debate with her. Why should
But
he
this is-
explain
no, but-
himself?
but this is the condition of the
Philippines nga.
Philippines condition.
Oo.
So, ibig sabihin, walang tinatagong Pilipinas.
Wala nga. Pero ako-
for me to debate with you, that means I'm open, 'di ba? And wala akong tinatago.
Yes, yeah.
Kasi I can debate with you, 'di ba? So,
There's nothing wrong with that, except I feel like the president has no obligation to talk to you.
yeah.
Feeling ko lang
Feeling mo-
Correct. The president has no obligation to talk to her.
Yeah.
But
But he might have
Something to say to her.
yes,
Yeah.
in case she finds out something wrong with her findings.
Yeah.
Hindi kasi because I think but why these conditions were put out kasi parang ang feeling ko lang kasi na parang nakita na kasi natin na may bias na because she was saying things already even before coming to the Philippines na nagbibigay na siya ng mga pahiwatig.
Saka mga
nagbibigay
interviews.
ng
Ang
mga
dami niya interviews.
niya. So medyo bias na as siguro probably we're already napapraning na rin tayo dahil alam naman natin na talaga because of this mainstream media and all of this reports and na talagang pag-uusapan din natin yung real numbers later on kasi yan yung nag-umpisa di ba ang lahat
And then what else are the conditions?
the other one is Duterte is allowed to ask her questions. Oh, what's wrong with that?
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
So she didn't agree to this condition.
Oh, yes. No, she did not. So, number 3, she has to take an oath.
Oath of what?
that she's telling the
The
truth.
truth.
Because when you take an oath, you have to tell the truth but nothing but the truth. Diba?
If you're telling the truth, ako nagsasabi ako ng totoo, tara, game.
Yes, diba?
Tell me where.
Diba?
Di lang yun, lie detector pa eh.
Oo.
Diba?
Carlo, diba?
Oo.
Oh. So, those are the conditions. Hindi
Okay.
pumayag doon si Agnes Calamard.
Akala ko naman yung mga conditions, si papa-hairdo siya, kaya ayaw niya.
Papa-shampoo siya.
Papa-shampoo, papa-makeup.
Different hairstyle.
Kung ganyan naman, ano masama sa mga kondisyon?
Because if you want the truth to come out, di ba? Ang sa akin,
I see. Kasi,
this is the best conditions that you can get.
Yeah.
Kasi kung talagang, teka, di ba? I can have, my God, the president here and have a debate with him. Oh my gosh, di ba? I'll take it.
It's an opportunity.
Yes,
Yeah.
di ba? Parang yun ang sa akin, di
Kasi
ba?
opportunity mo yon kung talagang maliwanag ang findings mo, opportunity mo yun para ipahiya siya in front of the world, di ba?
Siguro yun yung reason, ayaw niyang papahiya.
Siya.
si Special
Because
UN Rapporteur.
I think she doesn't want the truth to come out. Yun lang yun eh.
Oo.
Because it is for me para kasi it was a black propaganda altogether.
Oh, yeah.
So, and then of course, if there's going to be a debate, if there's going to be questionings and all of that, lalabas yung totoo. So, pagka lumabas na yung totoo, then that's it. No? But
Yeah.
then, what happened last week with her, don't you think, medyo eto, nabasa ko yung sa tweet ni Teddy Boy Locsin. Sabi niya, well, that's it for ICC.
The case is dead, something like that.
The case is dead. So, hindi ko, pinag-aaralan ko nga yun. Sabi ko, ano kayang correlation between
Ano yung ICC?
yung ICC, yung International Court.
International Criminal Court.
Criminal Court. Yung,
okay.
di ba, naghain ng, well, it is supposed to be a complaint. Hindi pa naman case, no? It is a complaint yung kay Las Cañas.
Attorney Sabio.
Sabio,
Yes.
with si Las Cañas as a witness.
Yes.
Diba? So, parang yun ang sinasabi nila because she said a statement. Ano yung statement niya about the shabu daw? Ano na yun exact word statement niya? Meron siyang sinabi that the shabu it's not addictive.
Doesn't lead to violence.
To violence.
Or doesn't
or
affect
the
the
brain.
Doesn't
So, siya
shrink,
ba talaga
shrink the
nagsabi
brain.
nun?
Yes.
Actually, si Professor Carl
And then she quoted.
she retweeted that.
She tweeted.
She retweeted that shabu doesn't affect your way of thinking, your mind, or your disposition.
Doesn't trigger
doesn't
any
lead to
violence.
and
Okay.
doesn't affect your brain.
Your judgment. Judgment na lang.
Well, I was curious if of this Dr. Hart.
Yan.
So I checked it online. There was an interview by Rappler. So tiniis ko yun, kahit Rappler. Tiniis ko yun, a 30-minute interview of Professor Carl Hart. And then he was saying many things that it does not directly affect the shrinking of the brain. That's a myth. But if you check with other medical findings, the lack of sleep or sleep deprivation
Yeah.
causes the brain to shrink. So
Yeah.
indirectly, it does cause the brain to shrink.
Yes.
And
So because shabu keeps you up for days.
yeah.
So,
Yes.
so prolonged sleep deprivation
Yes.
really causes the brain to shrink.
And you get hallucinations.
Aside from that,
And you get violent.
Yeah.
I mean, that's by
If you don't sleep,
we don't even need an expert to say that it leads to violence, di ba?
our personal observation experience will support that.
Di ba?
In the Philippines.
In the Philippines.
And in the interview, he was quoting his experience. He grew up in the States in a
was he taking the drugs consistently every day? Has he tried it?
he didn't mention it in the interview.
There you go.
Okay, teka muna. Let's pause for a commercial.
Okay.
Ito ang DZRJ 810 AM TriMedia, ang himpilan ng bawat Pilipino.
Uy, si Miss. Unang tingin pa lang, puti na. Kinis pa.
Nag-Myra Vita White Hand and Body Lotion kasi. May vitamin E beads and natural plant extracts that help nourish skin deep inside for a healthy white glow. Puti at kinis,
Ay!
hanggang malapitan.
Yala na.
Healthy white glow sa Myra Vita White Lotion. Yan ang alagang holistic by Myra. Trusted quality healthcare. Unilab yan.
Programang para sa mga makabagong bayani ng bansa. Nagbibigay impormasyon tungkol sa mga OFW sa buong mundo. Atin silang kilalanin dito sa Radio OFW. OFW. Kasama sina Hana Senieres at Gemma Gumamela. Makikipagtalakayan sa ating mga kababayang OFW tuwing Lunes hanggang Biyernes mula alas 9 hanggang alas 10:30 ng gabi. Radio OFW dito sa DZRJ 810 AM. Hatid sa inyo ng TriMEDIA, ang himpilan ng bawat Pilipino. Makinig, makikanta at makijam kasama ang nag-iisang Percy Lapid. Muling balikan ang mga masasayang kanta kasama ang iba't ibang mga musikero na maghahatid sa inyo ng mga magagandang tugtugan at awitan na siguradong kukumpleto sa inyong gabi sa Live Jamming with Percy Lapid tuwing Linggo alas 11 ng gabi dito lang sa DZRJ 810 AM. TriMEDIA, ang himpilan ng bawat Pilipino. Media Pro Incorporated. Ngayong Sabado, tiyak gaganda ang inyong umaga dahil may bago na tayong makakasama sa isang matalino at makabuluhang talakayan. Handog ng TriMEDIA. Makakasama at makakahuntahan na natin sa radio, TV at social media ang Miss Body Language ng Philippine movie industry. Si Miss Vivian Velez. Live dito sa DZRJ 810 AM. Ang Double V sa DZRJ. Vivian Velez, the beauty and brain. Vivian Velez. Vivian Velez. Dito sa Double V.
Alright, it's 7:02 in the morning. Nandito po kayo
Breakfast
sa
na.
8:10 AM. Yes, that's right.
Habang nakikinig sa amin.
Okay. So, ano yon? Yung biniti natin na discussions kanina is
Oo.
yung sinabi nga nila na
Sabi nung doctor, who's the doctor again?
Carl Hart.
Carl Hart.
Yes.
Na drugs or whatever drugs is pertaining to does not affect your judgment, your brain. It doesn't shrink your brains. Yun ang sabi daw niya.
Yes.
Okay, but also, not only that, meron palang, because of the conditions that was not met, no, ayaw nila, na ayaw ng special rapporteur, yung timing pala ng dating nga rito sa Philippines, at ano pala yon, medyo malicious din in a way.
Dahil?
Kasi, natatanda, alam nyo, di ba si Carlo, di ba si Senator Peter Cayetano went to UN in Geneva.
Yes.
Oo, yun pala yung yung Universal Periodic Review, yung
Okay.
UPR na tinatawag. Okay, so kung ganun pala yung nangyayari at that time na hindi wala yung invitation, hindi ayaw nila mga conditions, so whatever it is, kung ano yung mga pwede pala sila mag-usap on the side sa UN mismo, dun
Sa Geneva.
And to meet with Philippine delegation,
Okay.
diba, na para mapag-usapan man lang yung issue, diba? So, para sa akin, kung yun ang talagang focus mo at yun ang talagang gusto mo, then, bakit nagpunta ka ng Pilipinas, hindi ka nagpunta ng Geneva? Diba?
Baka mahal pa masahe.
Kasi UN yun diba? Ibig sabihin, diba? They can actually really talk about what's happening
Everything,
to the
yeah.
human rights and all of that.
Yeah, the
At
concerns.
Least, sa UN mismo. Diba? Pero ang ginawa niya, hindi. Nagpunta siya ng Pilipinas. So, it was ill-timed, diba? Parang yung timing niya, talagang parang medyo, hindi rin, hindi medyo talagang, what do you call that?
Malicious nga.
Malicious. Wala na akong
Timing
ibang
niya.
word na maisip except that
Dude, balikan natin yung pinag-usapan natin na nabitin tayo bago tayo nag-commercial. Yung pag nakadrugs ka, especially pag speed, ano ba yung mga speed? Yan yung shabu, ecstasy,
Cocaine.
heroin, cocaine. Yan po yung sinasabing speed na hindi ka natutulog.
Heroin yata is opiate, so may tulog yun.
May tulog factor. So, downer ba yun? Kasi alam ko yung downer, yan naman yung mga sleeping pills, yan yung mga marijuana,
Benzodiazepams, mga prescription drugs.
prescription drugs, so
We have
painkillers.
We have the anti-anxiety.
So anyway, what you're saying,
What we're saying is, hindi po totoo na hindi na-affect ang utak mo at ang judgment mo kapag nakadrugs ka.
Pero alam mo, Peter, we don't even have to really talk about it in a way that, kasi una-una, we're not experts, sasabihin ng mga tao. But we're experience yun nakikita natin yun sa kapitbahay natin, di ba? Every day of our lives, na nandito tayo, alam natin na yan ang mga nangyayari. Hindi na kailangan ng, no need of a clinical explanation or whatever, medical explanation na ganitong nangyayari pagka nakasyabu ka. Alam natin. So,
Tsaka napapanood natin sa mga televisions, yung mga na-aaresto na mga pumatay, na yung mga ng rape, ng gahasa, yung mga violent crimes, 99% po nakadroga.
yes.
And they also admit it when they're caught. The reason why they raped or killed this person is because they were high on shabu.
Yeah.
Yes. Heinous crime, di ba?
Heinous crime.
Ang dami na talagang. So, you really have to question yung motives and sincerity niya as a special rapporteur, UN special rapporteur. Kasi, I mean, kung ganyan naman ang magiging UN special rapporteur mo, tapos meron ng biased opinion, so ano mangyayari dun sa investigation? Hindi ba?
Bakit biased ang opinion niya kaya?
Well, that one we are questioning her, di ba? Siyempre. I mean, pero alam naman na natin. Kaya alam na natin na at least, alam mo, sometimes I see it that this war on drugs is really, kumbaga, I mean, the good side of things talagang medyo napapagbigyan tayo sa taas Kasi parang feeling ko, katulad niyan, then she was exposed. Di ba? All of a sudden, di ba? Parang,
Ikaw, Carlo, anong masasabi mo tungkol sa kanya?
Well,
Frankly, no holds barred tayo dito
No
sa
holds barred.
Double V. Wag lang magmumura.
she was very insincere.
yeah.
And coupled by the fact that she's not very good looking,
Oh my God, Carlo,
she was slaughtered in social media.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Vicious,
yeah.
Ang Sokmed, vicious
So, and she quoted Professor Car which really irked the public because to say that doesn't cause it's not a reason for violence is to most Filipinos is
I mean, for us to be
It's crazy.
really
Ridiculous.
suffering already, and we know what's happening. Hindi lang naman po kasi naman sa mga, yun nga ang sinasabi ko, if you are talking about human rights, okay, whose human rights are you talking about? Are you talking about the human rights of the victim of this drugs, this illegal drugs? Hindi ba kasi there's two-sided. There's victims and there's somebody who's criminally really doing this because of that, di ba? So ngayon, whose human rights are you talking about? Who are you protecting, di ba?
I guess what they're talking about sa human rights, yung mga nabasa ko, sinasabi nila, yung mga pinatay, what they say is extrajudicial killings, yung mga pinatay, hindi na-protect ang kanilang karapatan. They were never given the chance to regain whatever they've lost. Kumbaga, yung karapatan nila para bigyan ng second chance was not practiced. So, na-violate ang human rights nila. Kasi, according to them, pinapatay sila ni Duterte lahat. Ganon. Di ba yun ang sinasabi?
yes, yun ang sinasabi.
That is the alleged, and we'll talk about that. Okay, we'll talk about the numbers, but I just want to say hi to our friend si Rocky Gonzalez. Hello to Romel Peña, and of course to RD Relly. Kumusta? Nako, gising ka na rin sa umaga. Alauna ka na, umuwi kagabi. Relly, and then of course si Cesar Jim Lokis from Tawi-Tawi. Kaibigan natin yan. Hi Cesar, and then of course yung mga taga Tawi-Tawi kasi we're simulcast also to Mindanao, and then Palawan also. And then also, hi to Jane from Doha. We're getting a lot of, actually, mga overseas.
Yeah, Canada.
UK, I see them all the
UK.
time. And then Hong Kong, yung mga taga Hong Kong, nako, nandyan po
Ni hao, Hong Kong.
nandun si, ngayon, si Presidente Duterte, di ba?
Ano ba siya?
Yes.
My friend just transferred there.
Okay, si
Dito.
John Meglife. And then, of course, si Serafin Pua. Okay, Seth, yung ano yan, Lily's Peanut Butter.
Siya?
Teka, nasa-
Favorite ko yun, pahingi.
Oo, dapat Chef kailangan meron kaming boxes ng ditong Lily's peanut butter.
Kainin namin dito, ganyan, no?
Of course, si Francis Santos, and then Nestor Pontesilia,
Dubai.
Of course, oh my God, si
Rodolfo
Rodolfo
Samson.
Samson, yung ating writer din dati, pero ngayon nasa Seattle, USA
Nasa
na
Seattle,
siya.
USA
Oo.
na. Okay.
And then si Winnie Archivido
Archivido
ng
of
Canada.
Canada.
And hello ho sa inyong lahat.
Oo, hello guys. Again, Ayesha.
Alright, okay. So, let's talk about the numbers. Okay? Kasi, I mean, ito yung mga sinasabi kasi nila that the worst, di ba, sabi nga nila, Carlo, may surge daw. Parang nung umupo na raw as Peter was saying kanina, na nung umupo daw si Presidente Duterte, nagkaroon ng surge into human rights violation. No? Now, meron tayong yung real numbers kasi meron ngayon na talagang lumalabas na yung nilalabasan ng mga of course yung PDEA, PNP, NBI, naglabas na sila talaga ng mga numbers. Kasi ang nangyayari kasi they're just throwing in numbers kasi it started with that 7,000 wherein Leni Robredo was saying that to the UN, addressing United Nations and saying that the 7,000 and then yung palit-ulo na sinasabi
Tsaka
niya.
mali yung information niya sa palit-ulo, ha?
Of course. We know that. We know
I mean,
that.
okay,
That's why
if palit-ulo is in existence, hindi yun yung palit-ulo na sinasabi niya.
yun. And then she was, tapos yung numbers na she was throwing out. At that time pa yun, 7,000 yung sinasabi niyang gano'n. But then sinasabi niya that is all drug-related, yung kanyang 7,000 na yun. So now, nakikita na natin na meron na tayong real numbers, di ba?
Yes.
Ano yung mga real numbers ba natin yan? Talaga ba may surge, Carlo?
Well, the term extrajudicial killings,
EJK.
misnomer yan eh.
Yes.
It was a misnomer that was brilliantly clarified through a patient reading of AO 35 during a Senate investigation by Senator Cayetano. He read it line by line, and it refers to systematic methods targeted on specific groups. So, in summary, it's synonymous to political killings. Kasi you are targeting, for example, the
Or media, di ba?
or media.
Oo.
Yes, specific groups.
Ah,
And there's a method of killing.
So it's not only drug related.
Yes.
So yung nung EJK before, that was before Duterte, you mean before President Duterte. Parang yung EJK, the definition of EJK was that.
Yes.
Oo.
Now, so they bundled all the unsolved murders into EJK, labeling each death as EJK. So even
Homicides, yung mga,
even not related to drugs. EJK
na.
kasi unsolved.
Oo.
So the real numbers show something like 1,600 plus real drug-related deaths. Some reports indicate 2,500 at the most.
Okay.
But the bloated amount of 7,000, sometimes even 9,000, which is pronounced in international media.
You have the numbers there. What are those numbers, Carlo? Ano yung number ng real numbers na yan?
Drug personalities killed during the anti-drug operation, according to the
Yun nga,
PNP.
encounter po yun, encounter.
The real number, as of May 9, 2017, from July 1, the beginning of President Duterte's term, is
July 1, 2016.
2016, 2,949.
Okay.
And drug
That is
surrenderies...
May, May.
May 9.
Ngayon.
May, okay.
And drug surrenderies, which include the pushers and users who have surrendered, amounted to 1.266 million.
Alright.
So
There was a number of 4 million. What was that 4 million?
that's the number of drug addicts.
Drug addicts.
Okay, recorded.
Well,
Recorded.
that's based on some computation.
Computations, okay. So, yung surrendery was about 1.2 million something.
Yes.
Oo. And then, out of that, we yung mga encounter with yung mga tinotokhang na sinatawag nila.
Ano
tapos
ba yung
nagkaroon-
tokhang?
Tokhang means katok eh. Parang, they go to your place and then they search and they So, siguro, yung mga nangyayari kasi, yung may nakikita rin tayo, meron naman may mga PNP rin naman tayong namamatay eh. Meron din eh, di ba? Kasi encounter nga yun. So, when they do tokhang, to talk to them and nagkakaroon na ng encounter kasi
So
alam mo
yung
naman
tokhang,
kasi
kakatok ka, tapos kahit saang bahay,
yeah, just to talk to
May
them.
suspected
Suspected.
drug user
Drug
or
user.
pusher.
Kasi diba,
papasok ka o hindi?
kasi Peter, doon sa mga barangay captain, sila yung nagbibigay. Kasi sila naman na nakakaalam within their area kung sino yung mga addict na pakalat-kalat sa kalye.
Okay.
Diba? So, alam nila kung sino yung mga nagpo-push dyan sa mga kanto-kanto.
Okay.
Alam nila yon Kasi, di ba, it came to a point na ang sachet is only like what? You can buy at 20 pesos?
Yun na
30
nga ang
pesos?
sinasabi
Diba? Yung
daw
mga-
eh.
So, yung barangay captain are the ones who's saying to the PNP to say, okay, these are the drug personalities na
Tapos pupuntahan,
tapos pupuntahan to. So pag
kakausap.
parang kakausapin
Okay.
siguro kung merong alleged rito sa iyo na sinabi ng barangay captain o yung community that you're saying that you're parang ganun siguro, di ba?
Oo.
So yun ang yung Project Tokhang na
Oo.
tinatawag, di ba? With that, so, syempre, nagkakaroon ng encounter kasi yung mga iba, sabi nga nila, pagka siya daw, you get to be so praning,
Oo.
di ba? Lumalaban na sila.
Oo.
Ngayon, marami ang sinasabi nila na wala naman daw laban, hindi naman daw lumaban, basta binaril na lang. Okay, so that is the of the PNP. Iba pa yung vigilante killings,
Oo.
Iba naman yung mga nagtatandem na biglang pagkatapos, so hindi naman PNP yon.
Oo.
Hindi ba? So, those are under investigations. Kasi iba naman yung encounter talaga with the PNP, iba naman yung mga vigilante killings na hindi naman nila alam kung sino yung mga pumatay.
Correct.
'Di ba? Sa marami nagsasabi na baka nga daw ang mga pumapatay doon mismong sila.
Sila.
Okay? So may
Because they don't want
so
to
that's why we
be
need an
pinpointed.
investigation. That's why it's still under investigations. But then, Carlo, 'di ba, yung sinasabi mong numbers, ano ba 'yon? Yung talagang these are the verified numbers, no?
Yes.
By
from-
the agencies, di ba?
And this is presented according to yung numbers sa PIDEA. This is presented by Isidro La Peña, Dr. Isidro La Peña.
Marami sila. Ito yung from PIDEA.
Oo, sa Director General Philippine Drug
PNP,
Enforcement
NBI.
Agency, Chairman Interagency Committee on Anti-Illegal Drugs. Yan.
Oo.
So siya mismo ang nag-present nito ng
Yes.
numbers na ito.
Oo. Yung number.
Sandy was there.
Sandy, we were together with Sandy. Nandun kami doon sa real numbers actually. And it was really...
Hindi po ito inimbento.
Well, hindi. I mean, kasi ang sinasabi noon dati ni Lenny Robredo noon at that time, humihingi daw sila ng number sa PNP pero hindi daw sila pinagbigyan. Tapos ang sinasabi naman ng PNP, hindi naman daw totoo yon na nag-request sila or, that they really wanted to find the numbers. Basta yun, out of the blue, basta they were just saying numbers. No? To verify if those numbers are true or not, hindi nila bine-verify. Basta sinabi nga, as Carla was saying, na kahit na lang siguro.
Each death na unsolved, EJK na daw yun.
Oo, di ba? But then, let me go back a little bit dun sa UN. In fact, yung EJK na yan, it was not the first time that we were, ang tawag dito na may issue sa atin against the Philippines when it comes to sa EJK. Nangyari na pala yan twice na doon sa Universal Periodic Review, no? 2008 and 2012. So,
Ano-ano yun?
the time ni Pinoy,
It was already a problem.
it was already a problem. Okay? So,
But hindi natin pinapansin yung time na yun eh.
hindi pinapansin because wala naman kasi talaga
Ano ba yung
nagpa-black
ano yung mga
propaganda.
incident na yun? Kasi we just talked about time ni Pinoy. Ano yung EJK na nangyari nung time na yon?
Well, si Carlo nga yung sinasabi niya, the EJK before was
Yung,
Drug-related din ba yon o hindi?
not necessarily. It's, for example, media personalities na pinatay, tapos it remains unsolved.
or the farmers.
Yung the farmer.
Diba?
Sa Hacienda Luisita, hindi ba?
Oh, those are included.
Massacre.
Business disputes
Okay.
among business partners.
Nangyayari ako for me yung EJK nangyari rin. Yung time ni Cory Aquino, yung Menjola Massacre. Yung time ni Gloria Macapagal Arroyo, yung nangyari sa Maguindanao ba yun? Yung
Yes.
yung mga reporters din na pinatay.
Almost 50 plus.
Okay.
Oo. Unsolved.
With political fight yun hindi ba? It's unsolved. Yung Hacienda Luisita Massacre, the farmers
So
were
those
killed.
are included in the EJK.
Okay,
Okay,
oo.
those were included. And
Bakit
so,
hindi nyo na pag-usapan ng Human Rights Commission on Human Rights?
Hindi, well,
Actually,
that's-
i-clarify natin yung term extrajudicial.
Judicial killing,
Without
please.
without
The prejudice. Okay.
without the use outside of the judicial system.
Yes, yes.
So all deaths na hindi walang death penalty is lumped into that.
Yeah, because it's
out of court
When you, it's out of court. So when you say extrajudicial, then that's out of court. Ngayon, pagka
Wala naman
sinabi
tayong
mo-
death
Hindi, pero
penalty
pagka
kasi.
sinabi mong judicial killing, di ibig sabihin nun, may death penalty.
Wala naman tayong death penalty.
Wala tayong
Kaya
death
naman
penalty.
cover
Kaya extrajudicial, di ba?
It should be unsolved crimes or simple murder. Kasi nung araw, riding in tandem lang tawag dyan
Yes.
We used to see that almost every day, riding in tandem killed.
Yes.
And then suddenly now it's converted to EJK.
JK.
And the opposition, the Duterte detractors, were very successful in equating President Duterte with EJK.
Oo.
That's right.
That's
Kasi nga, ang sinasabi kasi ng mga tao sa social media, and even some people who are close to me said, Duterte said, kill them. Pero sa speech daw mismo sinabi ni Duterte yon. Yes, I remember there was a speech made by our president who said that if you have an encounter with them and your life it gets to be in danger, protect yourself. Di ba yun ba ang sinabi niya, Carlo? Kasi
Yeah.
yun ang narinig ko
Oh.
Yes,
Oo.
because it's more important to defend your life.
To defend your life, especially if you're an authority.
Yes.
Arresting these alleged or suspected criminals. Di ba?
Yeah.
It is your duty to self-defense.
To
You know what's
defend yourself.
troublesome
Yeah.
about all of this is because ang sinasabi kasi nila, parang yung human rights kasi parang pinepedal na in a way that parang human rights, di ba? Parang nagiging na siya nagiging political in a way, pinupolitika nila ang human rights, which should not be, hindi ba? Parang nangyayari just because.
I wanted my rights to be protected.
Oo, pero ang nangyayari kasi, it gets tainted because of this. Because of their politicizing everything na about EJK and human rights. I mean, let's do, why don't we really get into the investigations and find out?
Yeah.
Di ba? And hindi yung po pwedeng, katulad na yung nangyari because I think it was part of the destabilization that for them, that's why they went out internationally. Talagang lumabas sila, talagang doon sila sumisigaw because we here in the Philippines know the real score.
Yes.
I mean, for the past 6 years before Duterte came, talagang I voted for him because of that.
Yeah, me
you know,
too.
kasi alam na natin kung ano nangyayari. Hindi na natin kailangan may mga numbers. Alam na natin, kapitbahay lang natin, sa mga schools, sa mga ano, alam na natin that is what's happening. And I remember a friend was saying to me, alam mo, para kay ganito ako kaya lang, pag naririnig ko talaga si Mayor Duterte pa at that time, and he wants to really solve the illegal drugs problem, talagang, gusto ko na siya Kasi, you know, no matter what she was saying, no matter what he was, kasi palamura yung ating presidente, di ba? So, yung mga
President
iba-
naman kasi.
Oo.
Okay.
So anyway, parang ganon, di ba? I mean, so, yun ang inaano ko sa kanila na kung bakit, alam naman natin, alam nila nung yung as I was saying, 2008 and 2012, may EJK na. And we were asked to explain at that time Pero yun, yun nga, yung mga, yung mga basic sector, yung mga ating farmers, yung mga ganyan, di ba? Yung may mga media na namamatay. So, it's not all.
Kasama yun.
Actually, wala nga halos drug-related yata dun eh.
Oo.
Kasi wala naman ako nakikita noon at that time na talagang nagkakaroon ng mga massive,
And before, the war on drugs was never raised as much as it is being raised right now. Ako kasi yung sinasabing, kasi narinig ko si 𝐒𝐲𝐞𝐜𝐚𝐥 sa isang interview, I think binanggit ko yun, Vivian, nung guest natin sila Rocky, na sinabi ko na, why would you want the war on drugs to stop? Kasi yun ang sinabi niya doon sa interview eh. Sabi niya, I just want that the war on drugs should stop. Doon ako
and what is the solution?
Diba?
You want to stop something, anong solusyon?
Di naman sinabing,
wala naman sila maibigay ng
hindi man
solusyon.
lang niya sinabing stop war on drugs and pray. Wala man lang ganong kasunod.
Hinto
na
lang.
solusyon. Hinto lang daw. Di ba? Yung, my God, it's a perennial problem ng bansa. Isa siya sa pinakamalaking problema ng bansa. Tapos, you want us to stop war on it. Tapos, what do you want us to do? Diba, Carlo? What do you want us to do?
Kasi nga, para sa atin, I mean, if you're really talking about defense of human dignity ng isang tao or human rights, hindi ba you're supposed to be the one to stop all this this outrage dun sa everyday na nangyayari, di ba, at that time. Pero wala eh. Kaya nga halatang-halata na it's political. So, anyway, do you want to say anything more about this?
My view is, since they can't find anything significantly wrong with the Duterte administration, the only glaring issue is the accusations against extrajudicial killings. Yun ang ginamit.
Walang corruption.
Kasi wala siyang sabit sa corruption. Walang sabit sa ineffective government.
Yes.
Walang accusations against laziness. He's very hardworking.
Oo.
So, tinira na lang sa
Extrajudicial